It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Ray, I'm following you, bro. West Coast. These guys know sports. Yeah. These guys know sports. These guys know.
And welcome to Wise Guys. These guys know sports on this Monday, October the 5th, on the Worldwide Sports Network with my co-host, Mr. Clarence Nixon. Clarence, what's up, bro?
What's going on, bro, man? You look so happy for tonight, baby.
You know I'm happy for the night, man. Go, Pack, go. We're going for that 4-0 record. Top of the NFC North. Yesterday, Clarence, the Bears lost to Phillip Rivers and the Indianapolis Colts. So if Aaron Rodgers, like he is expected to do, if he gets it done tonight against the Falcons, we in sole possession in first place, baby. You know I'm excited about it. Can't wait for it.
Definitely, man. Hey, I'm just thinking to myself, like, the Falcons is 0-3, and then the Packers is 3-0. Is this really a nightmare that Green Bay is playing lights out football this year, man? Like, I'm just like, then I got to listen to your crap about it all day long. So,
yeah,
we got to see what's in store today, man.
Yes, sir, man. We got an action jam-packed show. We're going to talk about Kyrie Irving's comments the other day. He didn't really say LeBron James' name, Clarence, but we know he was throwing shade. Also, we're going to talk about later on in the show, here in a bit, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, losing to the Cleveland Browns yesterday. And also, Clarence, before we get into our opening topic of the day, before we get into our Monday Night Football, how does it feel, sir, to finally get your first win of the season?
Woo! This though, Trey, I'm gonna be keeping 1,000 with you, man. We was in game mode yesterday, and the energy all through on both sides of the ball, like it was just there. And Burrow, they all totaled up, him and Joe Mixon, they all totaled up 508 total yards. So it balanced out the offense. I was very happy. I was very happy that it got the spark going. Joe Mixon finally broke out for the season. And I was like, about time. And he was the first Bengals running back since Corey Dillon to have 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. That 34-yard, I was going crazy.
Yeah, man. Definitely. But, Clarence, before we get into our show, we got breaking news. The Houston Texans have fired head coach and general manager Bill O'Brien after an 0-4 start. Yes, this is breaking news. Yes, they have fired Bill O'Brien. So, before we get into our other topics of the day, we got to start off with this news fresh out of H-Town. What is your reaction to the Texans firing Bill O'Brien? What's your reaction to that, bro? Immediate reaction.
I'm just giving a quick reaction. I think it was the best move that the Houston Texans did. Because it was crazy that he didn't sign DeAndre Hopkins to that $18 million a year contract that he felt like he fully deserved. And then at the same time, he was part of Deshaun Watson. He was part of Deshaun Watson. Like he was part of helping him develop to the quarterback he is right now. And for Bill O'Brien, I think this is the best move, though. They need someone that want to be a program builder, that wants to help Deshaun Watson succeed, be successful. And I think that Bill O'Brien, he did things his own way, and he felt like this is the best thing to do in his part because for the simple fact he was in charge of the team, and he felt like he can just do anything. But I'm so excited that they got rid of him because they need someone that can help elevate Deshaun Watson game because it's something still a little off about his game. And I think Bill O'Brien wasn't the coach to develop Deshaun Watson. I'm so excited for the Houston Texans, man. And I know the fans going crazy down there.
Yes, I'm excited too. I'm happy that Bill O'Brien is finally out as head coach and general manager of the Houston Texans, Clarence. This all started last year when he decided to trade away Deshaun Watson's number 1 target at receiver, when he traded away DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson, his injury-prone self. I hope he still can bounce back, and have some better seasons, for future seasons to come. But for the most part, David Johnson's been very injury prone, and you traded away DeAndre Hopkins, a top 5 receiver in the NFL. This is a player that had a great relationship with your young franchise quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Why would you trade him away? He produced at a high level. It made no sense. And then to get off to an 0-4 start to the season this year, I look at the rest of these quarterbacks in the NFL, the young quarterbacks. I'm talking about the Lamar Jacksons of the world, the Patrick Mahomes of the world, even the Carson Wentz of the world. Carson Wentz has Doug Peterson. Lamar Jackson has John Harbaugh. Patrick Mahomes has Andy Reid. Deshaun Watson has Bill O'Brien, an incompetent head coach and general manager who seemed to want to basically control the organization. He basically made decisions based on his personal feelings, and I'm glad that the Texans have made the decision to move on from Bill O'Brien. To me, football didn't really matter to him. It was more about his personal feelings towards players, not making them Houston Texans a better team and not positioning Deshaun Watson to be elevated in his success as to help the team overall. So I'm glad they moved on from Bill O'Brien. We can move on to our next topic. We ain't got to talk about this too much. You know, I do hope they can get in a young, great play caller for Deshaun Watson, so Deshaun Watson getting put in positions to be successful like Lamar Jackson, like Patrick Mahomes. But nevertheless, Bill O'Brien deserved to be fired because his personal feelings outweighed the importance of the team's success. Because when you trade away your number 1 receiver, that's exactly what that's telling us. So I think the Houston Texans management, they saw it as well as us. So we got what we got today. So Bill O'Brien is officially out as Houston Texans head coach and general manager.
I'm so excited for the Texans, though. I wonder who's going to be their next coach for the intermediate, you know?
Yeah, for the intermediate future. We'll see. We'll talk about that on Wednesday's show. But let's get back to our Monday Night Football matchup as we got the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Green Bay to take on my Green Bay Packers, 3-0 in the season. Matt Ryan versus Aaron Rodgers. This is the 10th meeting between the two quarterbacks. Matt Ryan, surprisingly, is 5-4 against Aaron Rodgers. Combined average of 57.4 points per game, no turnovers. Julio Jones is expected to play in this matchup. Devontae Adams was ruled out this morning, Clarence. He wasn't too happy about it. I ain't too happy about it, but he wasn't too happy because he said he's ready to play. But the Packers organization, I think they want to hold Devontae Adams out because, you know, we got a bye week coming up in week 5. So it's going to give Devontae Adams 2 weeks to come back in week 6 and be ready to go, you know, for our run that we about to go on. Because we about to go on a run. So what are the keys to this matchup between the Falcons and the Packers?
All right. So I'm gonna just start off with your precious Packers. I think the keys for the keys for the Green Bay Packers side, can they create pressure on the defense side? Can the Smith brothers get some sacks on Matt Ryan? Because for the simple fact, Matt Ryan has been struggling when his pressure going towards his way. And another thing for the Packers, it's basically enjoy the Aaron shows. Enjoy the Aaron show from Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. How can they be balanced in this game tonight? Because you know they're both a huge threat. And Aaron Jones, and you will want him to get his touches. You will want Aaron Rodgers to get his passes. So how can you balance that out and win the game? And I'm gonna switch over to the Atlanta Falcons. For them in particular, I think you have to put up a lot of points against this Packers team to even win this match. You have to keep scoring. You cannot have a lot of 3-and-outs or a lot of calls, a lot of petty turnovers. You have to put up points against this Green Bay Packers in order for you to win this game. And I think but the other factor in this matchup, though, Trey, is can the defense create pressure on Aaron Rodgers? And can they stop the run? Because Aaron Jones is going to be running all over them. He's a beast. He's a power runner. He's a hybrid. He's elusifying. Like he's someone that's going to break out in a heartbeat. And believe it or not, he does well in Green. He does well in Lambeau Field. He averaged at literally 100 yards rushing. Literally 100 yards rushing when he's at home. So if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I'm trying to stop the run and create pressure for Aaron Rodgers so he won't get riddled. He's already won't have his top receiver, Devontae Adams. So that right there should be a plus. And Allen Lazard. So you have to create pressure. You have to. You can turn him to a one-dimensional team.
Okay, let me start off with the Atlanta Falcons. What are the keys for the Atlanta Falcons in this matchup? one of the keys for the Atlanta Falcons, for me, offensively, is going to be, can the Atlanta Falcons establish a running game with Todd Gurley clearance? You know, Todd Gurley came over in free agency and he signed with the Atlanta Falcons. He played at the University of Georgia, so he's well known in Atlanta, well known in that state. Can Todd Gurley get back to his 2018 self? You remember in 2018, the year the Rams went to the Super Bowl, Todd Gurley had over 1,200 rushing yards, 256, carries, 17 touchdowns, 59 receptions coming out the backfield. So he was an important piece to that Los Angeles Rams team that made it to the Super Bowl against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. In order for the Atlanta Falcons to have any chance in this matchup going up against Aaron Rodgers, you want to keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline sitting next to Matt LaFleur as much as possible. Because if Aaron Rodgers is in the game and he's getting multiple possessions, that's going to be more points and opportunities for my Green Bay Packers to put up points on the scoreboard. So I think one of the keys is going to be, can the Atlanta Falcons establish a running game with Todd Gurley, and can he show that he's still a top 10 running back in the NFL? Over the last year or 2 years, Todd Gurley just hasn't been the same. Since that Super Bowl run with the Rams clearance, he hasn't been the same. And I think the same way we talked about Cam Newton being on that comeback tour, we also need to be talking about Todd Gurley being on a comeback tour of his own, so he can get back into being mentioned in that top 5 running back conversation. Because right now, he's just not in that conversation. But I think they need to establish a running game. Also, for my Packers, I think defensively, we got to get better, Clarence. We got to get better on the defensive side of the ball. I think we're going to have Kenny Clark back tonight. Maybe. I'm not sure. I think he might be out. I got to check the scouting report again, the injury report, but he might be out. I want Kenny Clark to return, Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, Jair Alexander in the secondary, Kevin King in the secondary, Adrian Amos. Look, these brothers got to get stops, okay? Although our offense has been playing at an elite rate, we gave up a lot of points against the Detroit Lions, Clarence, in week 2. We gave up, I believe, 25 points to Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, last week. So it might have been 35. I'm tripping. It might have been 35 points. Yeah. So we've been giving up a lot of points defensively. Sometimes I get my statistics mixed up, but we've been giving up a lot of points defensively. That has to improve because I want us to get better at being able to get timely stops. We got a high-powered offense, but the only issue is right now, Allen Lazard is injured and he's going to be out indefinitely. So that's something you got to keep in mind too, because he was playing well. He actually had a good game last week against Drew Brees and New Orleans Saints. Allen Lazard played very well against that Saints secondary, and now he's injured, and Devontae Adams obviously is out tonight. So tonight we're going to see a lot of MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. We're going to see a lot of maybe Equanimous St. Brown. He got injured last year in training camp, so we didn't get to see him play last year. So we're going to see a lot of, different receivers in this particular game that's going to have to contribute for Aaron Rodgers. But for the most part, I'm calling out our defense. Tyler Lancaster, Dean Lowry, Preston Smith, Jair Alexander, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage. I need these boys to get stops so Aaron Rodgers can put points up on the board. So that's my keys for both teams. Atlanta establishing the running game with Todd Gurley, and the Packers defense getting timely stops so they can create more opportunities for Aaron Rodgers to put up points.
So I want to ask you this real quick, though, before we go to the next question. Since your 2 top receivers are out of this game tonight, so in your opinion, Trey, who was the X factor in this game tonight?
Aaron Jones. You hit it right on the money. I think Aaron Jones is the X factor because Aaron Jones, you can split him out wide and line him as a receiver. So he could be a receiver threat just like a threat in the backfield as a running back. So I think he's going to be the X factor for the Packers offense. I believe Aaron Jones, being the kind of all-around player that he is, I think being utilized in a Matt LaFleur system, we really get to see Aaron Jones' talents and his strengths as a multi-player. Like, I don't even look at him as being like just a running back. He is one of those players that can play multiple positions. He's similar to Le'Veon Bell. You remember Le'Veon Bell when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers? The Steelers sometimes lined him up in the backfield. Sometimes they had him, out split as a receiver. Sometimes he was a slot. That's how you can utilize Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is the X factor for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers tonight because we don't have Devontae Adams and we don't have Allen Lazard. So we're going to have to rely on Aaron Jones helping us in the passing game.
Yeah, I certainly be on the lookout for Aaron Jones having a major workload tonight, like Alvin Kamara did last week. So I expect him to carry a lot of load.
And by the way, last week we gave up 30 points to the New Orleans Saints. I forgot. We gave up 30 points. So it was 37-30. I forgot how many points it was, but we got so many statistics we got to remember. But yeah, we gave up 30 points to the Saints. And in previous games, like I said, we gave a lot of points to the Lions. I want us to improve on defense, man. We got to get much better because once the games, start slowing down, Aaron Rodgers, he might not be able to put up 40 points. He can still put up 24 or 30, but he might not be able to put up 40. You know what I mean? So our defense got to get stops.
I agree.
Considering we're going to be going up against possibly the MVP and Russell Wilson in the playoffs.
Yeah, I thought you're not wrong on that because you have to create pressure on these quarterbacks in order to be disruptive. And as long as you're getting the hits on these quarterbacks, I think that would be just perfect fine. But at the same time, they're playing against Matt Ryan, a pass-happy quarterback, so you have to create pressure to mess up his groove.
Definitely. Question on here. Can you make the argument that Aaron Rodgers is the second favorite to win NFL MVP?
I will agree. As much as I trash talk Aaron Rodgers, but I think he's having a phenomenal season. I think, he had a lot of critics coming into the season thinking that if he don't get it together, Jordan Love is going to be the next guy up. And I believe that motivated him to just have a stellar season that he's having so far. And I'm just saying though, hey, he's my second favorite MVP vote right now. But if he keeps keeping this up, it's a possibility he can lead Russell Wilson for it. It's a strong possibility.
You better believe it is. So far in the season, Aaron Rodgers has 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, Clarence, 887 passing yards. He's completed 67% of his passes. Last year, in a down year, because we judge Aaron Rodgers according to Aaron Rodgers standards, everyone wanted to act like Aaron Rodgers was on a decline. Last year, Aaron Rodgers had 26 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, threw for over 4,000 passing yards, completed 62% of his passes. And we had folks like you trying to act like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is on the decline. Aaron Rodgers isn't the same player anymore. That's because we judge Aaron Rodgers according to Aaron Rodgers' standards. Any other quarterback in the NFL, imagine if Ryan Tannehill or Baker Mayfield had 26 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. We'd be talking about how great of a season they had. But because it's Aaron Rodgers, we judge Aaron Rodgers according to Aaron Rodgers standards. And so we got to act like Aaron Rodgers is in decline and, Jordan Love is going to take over the starting job at quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love can't even be on the 54-man roster, on the game day roster. When the roster gets released, Jordan Love doesn't even make the roster. Tim Boyd, our backup quarterback, is in as our backup. Jordan Love is sitting on the sideline in street clothes. Street clothes. And it's the same guy y'all was trying to say was going to replace Aaron Rodgers. That's why I was so, calm when I saw, I felt relaxed when I saw how relaxed Aaron Rodgers was at training camp. Did you see Aaron Rodgers in training camp he was kind of free-spirited. He was just flinging that football. He was just being himself. He didn't let none of the naysayers affect him in training camp or nothing. He just went about his job like he normally always does. And he basically you can see he's free-spirited. He now is at a point in his career where he knows he's proven. He knows he's going to the Hall of Fame. Aaron Rodgers doesn't buy into all the haters like you, Clarence, who always pretend like he's done and on the decline. Aaron Rodgers doesn't listen to Skip Bayless on FS1. He doesn't listen to all those critics like not Nick Wright, who is it, Colin Cowherd on FS1, who say Aaron Rodgers is washed. He doesn't listen to all those individuals. Aaron Rodgers still knows what he brings to the table. Of course, he's still in the MVP discussion. Of course, right now, he is second in the MVP campaign behind Russell Wilson. So, yeah, he's second right now. So we know what it is. Who wins tonight?
Much as I wanted to pull this upset alert because you know how teams be playing hard against certain type of teams, and this Atlanta Falcons team, they play real hard against this Packers team because they know Aaron Rodgers is a game changer and he will put up massive points in order for his team to win. But unfortunately, the Falcons, their defense is not making any stops. They blew so many leads in the past, but I got Green Bay winning this one. I think this is gonna be a tight shootout. I honestly think they can win 31-28.
Have some guts and pick the Falcons. Pick the Falcons.
Can't, man. I can't. I don't.
You're not?
I can't. But I can't.
Guts.
I can't. If Julio's not, it's not a good to go. It's gonna be more problems on the Atlanta Falcons side. I'm gonna expect Todd Gurley to have like 25 carries. Like
I think the spread is 7.5 right now. I got my Green Bay Packers covering that spread. So Vegas, Green Bay is gonna cover that spread tonight. So if any bettors out there got my Packers covering that spread, is going to get done. I got Green Bay 38, Atlanta Falcons 24. So I think they're gonna win about 2 touchdowns tonight. I think the Atlanta Falcons will score a late touchdown and make it look good, but Aaron Rodgers is 2 touchdowns better right now than Matt Ryan. Period. I got Aaron Rodgers 38, Matt Ryan 24.
It'll be a good excitement show tonight on ESPN at 8:50.
And let's not forget, tonight also on CBS, I believe it's at 7, we're going to have the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs game as well. So that game is going to be on tonight too. Unfortunately, Clarence, I'm so disappointed that Cam came down with the coronavirus because I wanted to see Cam go up against Patrick Mahomes, man. I'm so depressed that I got to see Brian Hoyer going up against Patrick Mahomes, man. Man.
Give me your prediction. Who wins tonight?
Come on, man. Yeah, I know. Come on, man. Chiefs 45, Patriots 17.
God, you expect them to get blown out?
Yes, because I thought Cam Newton was an X factor. He was a difference in this game because I believe the Patriots would have had a chance because they would have dominated the time of possession. So they would have ran the football with Cam Newton and tried to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline next to Andy Reid. That was the only chance I gave the Patriots to win this game. If they would have been able to play ball control and have Cam Newton dominate in the running game, with Sony Michel and have some success in the running game, that was the only chance I gave the Patriots. Now that Cam Newton's not going to be playing, they're not going to be able to beat the Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs with Brian Hoyer. Give me a break. Come on.
I agree. I think it's gonna be a good matchup, but Kansas City winning this with like 35-21.
35-21. Let's move on and let's switch sports and go to the NBA as the Miami Heat beat the Lakers 115-104. And the Miami Heat now trail the series 2-1 for the Lakers. LeBron James had 25 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Anthony Davis dropped just 15 points, 5 assists. Jimmy Butler had a great game, Clarence, 40 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. So, question for you, my friend. What went wrong for the Lakers in Game 3?
What went wrong for them is they wasn't synced into the game, and Davis only scoring 15 points and 5 rebounds. That's what went wrong. When your other star is not scoring and putting up points, while the other star is. The other star, LeBron James, almost had a triple-double last night. Anthony Davis only gave out 15 points. At this point, this is the NBA Finals. Regardless, this is an easy rounding, or you feel like y'all can win this final, you have to show up. You have to show up every game so you can prove that this is not going to be an easy route for them. And Jimmy Butler just had his way with the game with the Lakers yesterday. He was balling. You couldn't stop him. I'm gonna tell you this. I watched that Udonis Haslem speech for over 5 times. I looked at his mouth. Oh, he was cussing up a storm. And Jimmy Butler, he was fired up. He said, "Look, we ain't losing Game 3. We're not. We don't give a damn about if the Lakers is up 2-0. That's the energy going in, and he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, so he didn't want to lose that out. I think, honestly, specifically, like the Lakers, they wasn't synced into this game. And LeBron James, he couldn't carry the load for real no more because his other star, Anthony Davis, is not showing up.
You hit it right on the nose, Clarence. I completely agree with you. This is a debate show on Wise Guys, but we agree here, bro, because Anthony Davis, I always talk about how I think Anthony Davis, his talent warrants him to be in that top 5 NBA conversation as far as the players. I always believe that his talent is on another level, and I think he's a top 5 player. Last night, he wasn't even a top 20 player last night, in my opinion. Last night, Anthony Davis, he wasn't aggressive at all in this game. Only 9 field goal attempts. That won't get it done. And last night, Clarence, Kyle Kuzma and Morris both had 13 shot attempts. How in the hell does Kyle Kuzma and Morris have more shot attempts than Anthony Davis? What the hell is going on here, Anthony Davis? What? This is why I say there are times where Anthony Davis defers and he's not aggressive. I was happy the way he played in the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets, Clarence. He was aggressive throughout the entire series. You know, he attacked the Joker. He attacked the entire Nuggets defense. They had no answers for Anthony Davis, and he was pretty much aggressive throughout the series, even going up against the Houston Rockets. Like, that's part of the reason why the Lakers are in this position right now, 2 wins away from the NBA championship, is because Anthony Davis has been the best player, arguably, on the Lakers. I mean, we know how great LeBron James is. We know LeBron James is an all-time great, but you can make an argument that Anthony Davis has been the best Laker so far in these playoffs. But in Game 3, Clarence, he just did not bring it. And there is no way that Kuzma and Morris should have more shot attempts than your other co-star on your team. That is inexcusable. That cannot happen again. And maybe because he was in foul trouble, that contributed to him struggling and not being as aggressive on offense. Because you know he got in early foul trouble in this game, but only 15 points, that's not going to get it done. The other thing in this game that went wrong for the Lakers was the Butler showed up. Jimmy Butler carried the Miami Heat on his back last night, Clarence, dropping 40 points without shooting a 3-point shot. Let that sink in. Jimmy Butler didn't even attempt a 3-point shot, and he had 40 on the Lakers last night, and he completely outplayed LeBron. Okay? He outplayed LeBron in Game 3 from start to finish. And Jimmy Butler became just the third player in NBA history to have a 40-point triple-double. The only other 2 players who've had a 40-point triple-double in the NBA Finals, Jerry West and LeBron James. That's some great company to be a part of if you Jimmy Butler. Also, Jimmy Butler became the first player to outscore, out-rebound, and out-assist LeBron in an NBA Finals game, and that includes even LeBron James' teammates. Okay, Jimmy Butler completely took over this game, and Clarence, last night after the game, I started thinking about Jimmy Butler and whether or not Jimmy Butler is truly a superstar. I believe Jimmy Butler is a superstar. I'm going to give you some of these players I think Jimmy Butler is better than currently right now. I think Jimmy Butler is better than Bradley Beal. You agree or disagree?
I agree.
I think Jimmy Butler is better than Kyrie Irving. You agree or disagree?
At this point, in this moment, yeah.
And I love Kyrie Irving. I love Kyrie. I'm a Kyrie fan. I don't apologize for it. I think Jimmy's better than Kyrie Irving right now. Jimmy Butler's better than Chris Middleton right now. Say it with your chest, Clarence. Say it with your chest.
Yeah.
He's better. Jimmy Butler is a better closer than Giannis. Not a better player, but I think he's a better closer. Yes, he's a better closer than Giannis because Giannis is limited offensively. So Giannis doesn't even have a go-to move in clutch moment. Wait a minute, hold on. We've seen Jimmy Butler close games for the Miami Heat. I'm still waiting on Giannis to close games for the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the 2-time NBA MVP that we're talking about here. This is a player that most people recognize him as being a top 3 player in the NBA, even though I don't believe Giannis is better than LeBron. He's not better than Kevin Durant, and he's not better than Kawhi Leonard in my eyes. But there are people like you that believe Giannis is the best player in the league. But I think Jimmy Butler is a better closer than Giannis because Jimmy Butler is a great mid-range shooter. Give him his credit, Clarence. He has a great mid-range game, and he can get to certain spots to score, and he keep the Miami Heat in games. Down the stretch of these games, it's big Jimmy Butler that's been carrying the Miami Heat. That's what happened last night. And I think so far in these playoffs, like in the Eastern Conference Finals, it was a collective effort. We saw Tyler Hero drop 37 in Game 4. We saw Goran Dragic have a few good games in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think Jimmy Butler played pretty well against the Milwaukee Bucks. Remember Game 1 when he dropped like 40 in Game 1 against the Milwaukee Bucks? I think Jimmy Butler should be mentioned in that superstar conversation. I think he's a top 10 player right now. And if he wins another game in this series, he's definitely in the top 10 right now.
See, I ain't like the way how you just kept bringing up Giannis, man. We let the MVP be home and let Jimmy Butler have his finals moment, you know. But
I'm not saying that Jimmy Butler's better than the Greek Freak.
No.
I'm saying Jimmy Butler is a better closer than the Greek Freak. Under 3 minutes, I trust Jimmy Butler to deliver for me as a team more so than I trust the Greek Freak. I
Yeah.
trust the ball being in Jimmy Butler's hands more than I trust the ball being in Giannis' hands, because we've seen Giannis get shut down completely in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, going up against Kawhi and the Raptors, and this year going up against Jimmy Butler's Miami Heat. Giannis was limited offensively. That's the issue that I have with Giannis. He doesn't even have a go-to move once you stop him from getting inside the paint. He can't hit perimeter shots. Jimmy Butler can hit perimeter shots, but he didn't even hit perimeter shots in this game. He still dropped 40.
So let me ask you this though. You know, there's been a controversial conversation that's been going on since Sunday night. So we seen LeBron James walk off the court, like, you know, like it was still 9 seconds in the game. You know, what's your personal reaction to that reasoning, like when he walked off the floor with 9 seconds left?
I would be more critical of LeBron if he did this and it was a closeout game. Like, let's say the Miami Heat somehow upset the Lakers in this NBA Finals clearance. If LeBron James just completely walked off the floor in a closeout game, I think it would be more of an indictment on LeBron James. But because it was the end of a Game 3 matchup where the Miami Heat beat the Lakers, I'm not going to condemn LeBron for these actions. I think this was just LeBron's way of saying, all right, I got outplayed tonight by Jimmy Butler, and we got beat by the Miami Heat overall on the Game 4. And I think you see at the end of the game, you saw Jimmy Butler say to LeBron, I think he told LeBron, like, oh, y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble. Did you see that? Did you see Jimmy tell LeBron that y'all in trouble? Did you see that? I like the fact that Jimmy Butler is basically standing up to LeBron and not backing down. I love it. I love it, Clarence. And I'm excited because now we're going to get a chance to see LeBron rebound, and we're going to get a chance to see him come back in Game 4 and redeem himself. He didn't play bad yesterday, really. He didn't play bad yesterday, too. I felt like he could have been aggressive more at times, but we're going to get a chance to see LeBron redeem himself in Game 4. I'm excited about it. That's why I love Jimmy Butler trash-talking LeBron at the end of the game. But when it comes to him walking off the floor early, I had no problem with it because it wasn't a closeout game. Had it been a closeout game, I would be more critical of LeBron. We lost Clarence. Clarence will be back here shortly. Everybody, remember to go and follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram with These Guys Know Sports. We live on the Worldwide Sports Network. Today is Monday, October the 5th. We're talking about the NBA Finals as the Miami Heat beat the Lakers in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, 115-104. So the next question of this segment is, what adjustments does Frank Vogel need to make in Game 4? So before we bring my man Clarence back in here, I'm going to take over the show. Some of the adjustments I think Frank Vogel needs to make, I don't think there's necessarily any major adjustments he needs to make because the Lakers are the superior team here. They're the superior team over the Miami Heat, and they're still expected to win this series. I expect, just like Frank Vogel expects, LeBron James and Anthony Davis to play much better in Game 4. And I expect Frank Vogel to demand his team to be more aggressive because in Game 3, the Miami Heat outscored the Lakers 52-34 in the paint. There is no reason why the Lakers should be getting outscored in the points in the paint department. You have the bigger team. You have Anthony Davis on your squad. You have Dwight Howard, a Hall of Famer, on your team. You know, one of the best big men of all time. You have JaVale McGee as well on your roster. There is no reason in hell why the Miami Heat should be outplaying the Lakers in points in the paint. Points in the paint, how do you get outscored 52-34? I think Frank Vogel needs to demand his team is more aggressive in Game 4, and they need to establish that they are the bigger team and they're the more superior team over the Miami Heat in Game 4. 52-34 advantage for the Miami Heat in points in the paint is inexcusable for the Lakers. They got to do better than that. Now,
Yeah.
Clarence, you back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was just talking about the question was, what adjustments does Frank Vogel need to make in Game 4? And I was talking about how the Miami Heat, they outscored the Lakers in points in the paint 52-34. That's inexcusable for the Lakers. They are the bigger team. They're the more superior team. And there's no way in hell the Miami Heat should be having more points in the paint than the Lakers. The Miami Heat are the smaller team. What the hell happened in Game 3?
Yeah, I agree. I believe that the Lakers they got outplayed throughout the whole game. Jimmy Butler was like intact. He was in motion. He was ready. He was ready in this game. And for this Lakers team, if you had to make some adjustments, you have to rebound the ball. You have to be the advantage on the defensive side and on the rebounding side because you have the advantage of bigs. And believe it or not, he even had Bam Adebayo in this game on Sunday, and it doesn't make sense because you don't have one of your big mans and you're out rebounding a team that's like big, that strength is rebounding. So I think for the LA Lakers, they have to rebound and they have to get a lot of shots. Not a lot of shots, they have to get a lot of blocks and steals. They had to cause a lot of turnovers because they cannot play lazy on this Heat team because the Heat, they have the momentum on their side and they feel like they can steal another game and going into this series. So if I'm the Lakers, I want to tighten up on my bigs so they rebounded, playing defense and basically playing on the other side of the floor. So the main factor is this: the big mans, they have to be the best. They have to be the bigs.
Last night, we saw the JV team outmuscle the varsity team because the Lakers are the varsity team and the Miami Heat are the JV team. Last night, Clarence, the JV team got the better of the varsity team. Let's call it what it is. So they got to do a much better job in Game 4. And in this game, in the first quarter, the Lakers turned the ball over 10 times. The Miami Heat turned the ball over 3 times. In the fourth quarter, the Lakers had 5 turnovers. The Miami Heat had only 1 turnover in the fourth quarter. So they have to do a better job of protecting the basketball in the early and the end of these games because the Miami Heat did a better job, protecting the basketball and not having so many turnovers. See, as I watched this game last night, I thought Miami Heat, they came out with more force. They were more aggressive. You could tell they wanted Game 3 more than the Lakers. And then the Lakers got into a rhythm and they got back into the game, and, in the second and third quarter. But when we got back to the fourth quarter, the Miami Heat pulled away because they wanted it more and they executed better offensively and they didn't have as many turnovers as the Lakers did. So I give a lot of credit to Eric Spoelstra and his Miami Heat group because they're not going to get swept in this series. I said Lakers in 6. Then I end up saying there's possibly it's going to be a sweep. It's a good chance, Clarence, we're going to have a gentleman's sweep and the Lakers are going to beat the Miami Heat in 5 games. You agree or disagree?
Well, it all depends on tomorrow's game. If Jimmy Butler had that same energy, our prediction might come as possible, Trey. We might get a game go to 6, but I agree with you, though. It's looking more like Lakers in 5. If the Lakers don't get it going tomorrow, they're going to Game 6.
LeBron better not let the Miami Heat win Game 4. He better not let the Miami Heat win Game 4. Jordan would sweep these Miami Heat teams. He would sweep these boys. I'm telling you right now. All these LeBron James fans out there, I always want to talk about how LeBron is the GOAT. He's better than MJ. He's better than Kobe. He's better than Kareem. Damn it, LeBron better not let this Miami Heat team push this Laker team to 7 games. I said Lakers in 6 because I know the Lakers are the more superior team. But even if it as you watch Game 1 and Game 2, Clarence, we watched it. The Lakers are the more superior team. LeBron James need to slam the door shut on the Miami Heat tomorrow night in Game 4 and take a commanding 3-1 lead heading into Game 5, man. Look, Jordan would sweep this Miami Heat team. He would sweep them right on out of the bubble and right back home. Okay? Let's call it what it is. Like, I don't want to hear nothing from LeBron James fans. If this goes 6 games, it's an indictment against LeBron because the Lakers have the superior team. This is a varsity team playing against a JV team. Like, man, come on now.
Yeah, for the Miami Heat, they got a lot of momentum on their side. And Anthony Davis and LeBron James, they got to be dominant in Game 4 tomorrow just to feel like they can put away. Because I see the Miami Heat, they took this game like it was Game 4. They down 3-0, so they playing with that type of energy and feeling.
For sure. Let's move on to some NFL for our last few minutes of the show. The Cleveland Browns beat the Dallas Cowboys 49-38. Baker Mayfield, 19 of 30, 165 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Odell Beckham had a great game, 5 receptions, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, even had a rushing touchdown clearance. Dak Prescott had with 41 of 58, 502 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Amari Cooper had 12 receptions, 134 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Real quick, what happened to the Cowboys in this game?
I think for the Cowboys in this game, they made Dak Prescott throw the ball a lot, and they didn't utilize Zeke. In my opinion, I feel like they ain't really like was committed to running the football. I felt like it was more. I felt like it was more of a this is Dak Prescott moment to show that he's a proven quarterback in this league, and you can't play with that type of play style though, Trey. And I'm gonna be real short and quick. When you don't run the football, it takes away from their game, their true game. And the Cleveland Browns, they was lights out. They was lights out in this game. But for the Cowboys, I feel like they can close out games when they play against a competitive team, because Cleveland is competitive. But when you're not running the ball with Zeke, it causes problems.
You're wrong here. The main issue with the Dallas Cowboys is their defense is atrocious. Their defense is atrocious, Clarence. They gave up 49 points to the Cleveland Browns. This is the third straight game the Dallas Cowboys defense has given up 38 points or more. Okay? The Cleveland Browns had 307 rushing yards, and Nick Chubb left the game. He got injured yesterday. He's been placed on IR. He left the game, and the Dallas Cowboys gave up 307 rushing yards, Clarence. Like, they can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. Me, you, and Jordan can go out there and put up some yards and points on this Dallas Cowboys defense, bro. Their defense is terrible. Like, it is bad. And this is part of the reason why they might not make the playoffs. They can't get stops. They're trying to win games in shootouts. You can't win a Super Bowl if you always have to win in a shootout, formula. That's not going to win you a Super Bowl. You have to run the football effectively more with Zeke. You brought up Zeke. They need to involve Zeke more in the running game, but defensively, they got to get some stops, because when you're going up against elite quarterbacks in your conference, like Aaron Rodgers, like Russell Wilson, you have to be able to get stops as a defense if you want to have any chance at winning a Super Bowl. Okay? Their defense is atrocious, and Mike McCarthy, he hasn't done a good job so far being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Clarence. He has not. I don't know what the difference is when I watch these Cowboys compared to when I watched them last year when they had Jason Garrett. Is there a difference? There's no difference.
I just think the difference in this is the defense is a mess. And like you said, you can't win games trying to have a shootout with a lot of players. You have to have a defense to at least get some key stops. And I think for this Cowboys team, over the last 4 games, they gave up almost 37 points. And that's a franchise record that they've been giving up in a 4-game span. But you have to clean up the defense, and you can't win a lot of games in shootouts, especially games that is tough, and like this one.
I want to talk more about this game on Wednesday's show because I want to talk more about the Dallas Cowboys and their issues, because I don't think Mike McCarthy is doing a great job as head coach for the Cowboys so far this season, Clarence. He got completely outcoached yesterday against Kevin Stefanski and the Browns. But, hey, before we get out of here, bro, go, Pack, go. We better get that win tonight and improve to 4-0 in the season heading into this bye week. Hey, Devontae, get healthy. Kenny Clark, get healthy, because we're going to need y'all for the stretch run, okay? Everybody, go and follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H, also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. Mr. Nixon, I'll see you on Wednesday night.
Yep, yes, sir. I'm going to see you Wednesday night and be watching this Packers game.
For sure, bro. I'll hit you up. Have a good one, bro.
You too, bro.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.